Back in the day you go, Baron.
The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Yes!
The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you.
True.
I guess I should have talked over the warnings now. People can say, "Oh, I didn't know that." Well, it's in the beginning. "Oh, I don't know that fat bastard was just making noises."
These two hooligans.
I'm
you
a
tell
hooligan.
them you're going to start the show later. You tell them you're going to start the show later today, and one of them has been sitting here since 1 o'clock Central Time.
I have been. I have been, man.
The show's supposed to start now.
It's on the schedule, Baron. Read the schedule.
It's a good thing.
What is
It's a good thing I didn't have control because I would have started at 1 o'clock.
Oh boy.
You would come back.
Sure
Don't
you
worry
would.
about Mike.
Sure you would.
Mike, everything's taken care of. Oh yeah. By the way, YouTube wants to talk to you.
Mike comes back. The show is over.
Not only over, the channel's shadow banned.
Channel's terminated.
Yeah.
Thanks to all that action.
Oh, you know that. You know that.
Baron's like a kid when the parents say you could stay home by yourself. He thinks he could just have a party, run amok. That's what Baron is.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You take your old records off. Yeah, what? I'm having a party because the parents are away. I wonder if Rebecca De Mornay is still hot.
Baron goes to like one of those fraternities, and he's like, "Hey, I'm actually 24. Promise you."
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You look a little long in the tooth to be 24 there, son.
And then he goes, "Was it over when?" You know.
Hey, who ordered the 400
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk on this Sunday evening, along with Cash Money 007, that petrol 3-year-old that we both have to keep an eye on because he gets all over the place. Baron Norman Tag. I am your host, Mike, and tonight we have several items to discuss. Of course, one of them is actually a sad item, and it's the passing of Bernard Hill. We will be talking about Sony's new requirements for Helldivers 2 on PC. Not only that, Sony strikes again, orders Fate-Stay Night devs to censor PlayStation release of art book included in physical limited editions of, and oh gosh, I'm going to mispronounce this. Tsuskumi. Well, yeah, you know what? Don't even try, Mike. You're going to butcher it. But anyways, there's a new physical release of a game coming out, and Sony's added some censorship to it.
What?
Yeah.
Speaking of Sony, have you guys heard that Sony wants to purchase Paramount Pictures?
Yes.
Yep.
The hell you say?
Yeah, they do. And whether we get to that story or not, that's another thing. But just of it is they've offered a lot of money. I think something like 28 billion.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
28 billion.
Well, we know Sony Pictures has done some things right. We know Sony has done some things right, and then other things they go, why? Why'd you do this? You didn't have to do this.
Because they could.
Right. Exactly. Because they could.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about that tonight, and we'll also briefly go over Amazon's release of their Masters of the Universe movie. It's not needed. Come on, it's not needed. A 10-year-old Adam? Jeez, give me a break.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know we talked about it. we talked about it a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. It's actually it said it's going to be by the power of puberty.
Right. Mm-hmm. By the power of puberty.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I do want to say hello to Human Blaze the cat. Welcome.
Hello.
TGASP Steve. And Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective and TGAP. We'll get to Beverly Hills 414 near the end of the show tonight.
You know who would like that meow song I did? The cat. The cat that's in the. The cat that's in
That's right. Bear's been working on some AI songs and he's uploaded them to his channel.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet though, but
Baron's been actually pretty crazy since Thursday. Actually, he's just really hyper lately.
Well, what do you mean he's been crazy since Thursday? This is Baron 24/7.
I don't know. He's got
stream with us.
Yeah, I think he's gotten worse, man, not better.
Well, I guess now that you brought Thursday up there, Cash, you reminded me. Guess who's now a full-time Thursday over at 540 Studio?
Oh, I know, buddy. I know.
Oh, you know already?
Yeah.
I figured. Good old Chase probably had a few orgasms as he was telling you that it was coming over there. And that kind of disturbs me a little.
Extinction to all traitors!
Right, exactly. We just keep gravitating to I can't get away from you, Baron. So, not that it's a bad thing really, but
well, no, I mean the thing is though, just like Phil says, he's getting the bad 2/3 of Pop Talk, and the good 1/3 is still, over here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like I'm leaving here. Actually, I do have my papers. I have to deliver to you, Mike.
Dude. Yeah, exactly. It's
okay. Bye, Baron. Have a wonderful time.
Help! I'm being repressed.
Wait, no, you're not being repressed. You handed me your papers, your notice. You gave me your notice, so I said, okay.
Man.
That's right. I said, I ain't giving you no $350, you goddamn Loch Ness monster. Get your own goddamn money. I gave him a...
Man, dude, Baron just kept twisting today, man. Twisting that knife.
He's been doing it for the last few weeks, folks.
Yeah, he has, man. Wow. He just...
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this first story here. So, looks like I'm going to have to change the opening. Oh, no, I was going to say, Baron, for a second, your avatar looked like a boob.
Well, yeah, I came in through the window.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you travel. And I do want to say hello to Bobby over on Rumble, and we have Rogue Raven YT Gaming over on Rumble as well, who asks, can he join? Unfortunately, this is not an open panel.
Right.
But we do have... Yeah, but Bubba, that boy ain't right.
Yeah, propane and propane accessories.
But we do
Taste
have
the meat, not the heat.
A sad story to start off with.
Oh yeah,
in tonight's episode. This comes from The Standard, and it says Titanic and Lord of the Rings actor Bernard Hill dies at age 79. The actor also brought to life the character of Yasser Hughes in the legendary drama series Boys from the Black Stuff. This is by Jacob Phillips, and it says Lord of the Rings and Titanic actor Bernard Hill has died aged 79. His agent has confirmed. Hill played King Theoden in the Oscar-winning Lord of the Rings trilogy, as well as Captain Edward Smith in the 1997 epic romance Titanic, which starred Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. The actor joined the Lord of the Rings cast for the second film in the trilogy, 2002's The Two Towers, which won 2 Academy Awards for Best Sound Editing and Best Visual Effects.
Mm-hmm.
He returned to the franchise for 2003's The Return of the King, which picked up 11 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director for Sir Peter Jackson. Dominic Monaghan, who played the Hobbit Merry Brandybuck in the fantasy franchise, posted a photo of Hill, backdropped by the lilac sky on Instagram, and wrote, "The broken king has passed to the gray heavens, but he will always be remembered." The Manchester-born actor also played Yasser Hughes in the legendary drama series Boys from the Black Stuff. The role earned him a BAFTA TV nomination in 1983, the same year the show picked up the BAFTA for Best Drama Series. Hill's agent, Lou Coulson, told BBC News that the actor died in the early hours of Sunday morning. A statement from his family is expected soon. Hill, who also stars in the second series of the BBC drama The Responder, airing on Sunday, was an incredible talent, the broadcaster said. Lindsay Salt, director of BBC drama, said Bernard Hill blazed a trail across the screen, and his long-lasting career filled with iconic and remarkable roles is a testament to his incredible talent. From Boys from the Black Stuff to Wolf Hall, The Responder, and many more, we feel truly honored to have worked with Bernard at the BBC. Our thoughts are with his loved ones at this sad time. He also featured in the 2015 BBC adaptation of Hilary Mantel's novel Wolf Hall. His other credits include Clint Eastwood's True Crime in 1989, rom-com Shirley Valentine, the 1990 film adaptation of Great Expectations, and 2002's The Scorpion King, starring Dwayne Johnson. Singer and actress Barbara Dixon paid tribute to the late actor on X, formerly Twitter. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah.
She wrote, "It is with great sadness that I note the death of Bernard Hill. We worked together in John Paul George, Ringo, and Burt Willie Russell Marvelous Show, 1974-75. A really marvelous actor. It was a privilege to have crossed paths with him. Rest in peace, Benny X." So that's pretty much all the article has about his passing, but
other notable roles he had that they ignored. He was in 2 episodes of I, Claudius as Gratis. He was also in King Henry IV, Part 1, 2, and 3 as the Duke of York, and Richard III, all for BBC TV in 1983. So, I mean, that right there is some hard work, needed to say.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also in the Val Kitty movie with Tom Cruise. So yeah, he had quite a variety of a career, and he was a great actor. Dang it!
And he should be celebrated as a great actor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll even forgive him for Titanic, but he did look the part.
He looked like E.J. Smith. Let's face it. You look at the pictures of the actual captain of the Titanic, and then you look at Bernard Hill. He looked just like him. And some could say it was movie magic, but I think he closely resembled the actual captain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, He just brought so much.
Look at him right there, and let me just bring up a picture of the actual Edward Smith, just for comparisons. And in case anybody doesn't know, which I wouldn't expect anybody to know, I'm also a big fan of anything and everything about the Titanic, and also looking into the history of the White Star Line.
Oh, I know. Cash might not, but I know. I pay attention.
Right, Baron. Right.
All right, let me just magnify this picture.
Well, I mean, he's
there.
Just so
there you see
Mhm.
Bernard Hill, and then this is the actual captain of the Titanic, Edward Smith.
Oh wow!
Yep, a good resemblance.
Very strong resemblance.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he brought so much passion as the king, of course, in Lord of the Rings. So.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Mm-hmm.
So it begins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's how you and Baron feel every time we start pop talking.
No, that's how you feel when you start.
Not these two jokers again.
Exactly. Especially that 400-pound
get off that
fatty
table.
over there.
Baron, get off that table. How many times I gotta tell you to get off that table?
I don't go on tables because I get on top of the table and go down badly if the table breaks, just like it did to Lizzo. If you've seen those,
boy,
it gets on there and poof, it's like incoming. Quick, get the crane in here.
Yes, and how are you doing, Whoopa?
Hey, Whoopa.
Whoopa.
So yeah, I mean, I guess strong resemblance, and I think that's excellent casting. I don't know what you guys, but that's excellent casting.
Oh yeah,
you can find an actor who actually closely resembles someone who actually did live, who was the captain of the Olympic before he was captain of the Titanic. So, do you guys have anything else you'd like to add to this before we move on to our next story?
Yeah, not at this time, but it's just the fact that you just taking in the fact that we lost a great actor. Anything he seemed to do, he did yeoman's work, and winning the BAFTA over in England is like winning the Academy Award or even the Emmy. I think they're kind of mixed, basically both together with BAFTAs. But that's a high-ranking award. So, and he earned, you earned it, and I think he should have had more. Yeah.
Yep, and I see that DJ Ronnie G has popped into the chat, and I see that a few others have popped into the chat as well. So let me go ahead and say hello to Blue. Good to see you, Blue. Old Dan is here.
Yep.
Talked with him earlier today.
Joe McCracken is here.
No.
And as I mentioned, DJ Ronnie G.
Nerd!
Turtles.
And of course, in case nobody knew earlier, we also have Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Always good to see Tommy.
Hey,
TGASP Steve. And once again, Steve, we'll get to Beverly Hills 414 near the end of the show.
So
and Human Blaze the Cat.
So we have both reptiles and mammals represented in the critter corner in our chat.
Yeah, we do.
Nerdles.
Nerdles.
So Friday and also last Friday, It's been a combination of either Baron and Cash and Spock and Vor, or Baron, Cash, and myself playing Helldivers 2, and I think I can say for all of us, we've had a lot of fun doing it.
We suck.
Speak for yourself.
I do. I admit it. I never say otherwise.
And let me go ahead and post the link to the article over on the Rumble side. But apparently, Sony is not going to be learning from its previous mistakes, as they are now requiring Helldivers 2 PC players to link Steam and PSN accounts in order to access the game. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse. I think I got a perfect clip to play, even though Baron's already played it once. Well, we'd like to play it as often as
What the hell you say?
I'm going to read the article before I give my thoughts on this, so I have all the information at hand. But
it stinks.
Oh, I was a little too fast on that. Sorry.
That's all right. This is by Spencer, and it was posted on Friday. It says Sony now requiring Helldivers 2 PC players to link Steam and PSN accounts in order to access the game. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse. So please, everybody's gotten soft when it comes to playing games online. You're gonna have players that are gonna trash talk you and call you names. You got to develop thicker skin.
There's not even like trash talking really. Like you die in the game, then you come back to life, then you die again, you come back to life, then you kill a bunch of bugs or robots. I don't trash talking. I of course, and just play with your friends if you don't want to.
We'll just trash talk each other. That's what we do.
Exactly.
We get into VC and we trash talk each other.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
And frustrating.
But my feelings do get hurt.
The funny thing is also, like, I don't know if we want to talk that much about it, but also there's a follow-up article to this about how from another site that Sony lied about the PSN account requirement on PC. So it's just like, it just gets crazy. But continue, man. It's just
Sony's been making a lot of mistakes lately. And yeah, we should tag Whoopa in the next time we play.
That's fine, no problem.
You're making it sound like a wrestling match with bugs.
Tag me in, brother. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna tag in Whoopa Troopa. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now of course the argument is always going to be, well, there was no problem with you guys linking other accounts on Steam. I'm like, yeah, but were countries allowed to have access to the Rockstar, Microsoft? If they were, then it's not as big as a problem. The problem's not as big as it's just not. So.
And a frustrating and unnecessary move that serves only to hurt the reputation of the fan favorite democracy spreading simulator, Helldivers 2 publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced that following the fixing of apparent technical issues, really, fixing of technical issues, and they have it in quotes here, but still, technical issues, guys, we had a seamless online experience Friday, didn't we?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
And other people weren't having that problem, but it's like, but Mike has 96 gigs of RAM. So Mike should have, it seems this way, Mike shouldn't have any problems. But Baron and I have less RAM, and if this game is very RAM intensive, then I guess we deserve to have problems, but Mike doesn't, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the other way I could join you guys is when you already launched in your pods down to the planet, and then join you guys.
Well, let's just be honest about it. It's the server issue, and we've noticed that when we play later, especially on a Friday, this is where we have the problem. So we're doing something like a little earlier. We're earlier playing, by ourselves. We don't have problems. systems. So that's what we got. I mean, it's just they need to do something about that. Worry about your servers.
Yeah, and you know what, Steve? I've been worrying about each and every one of their data breaches they've had in the last 10 years.
Yeah, any of these data breaches from I don't just
Yeah.
Insomniac, Sony, data that's being misused. We already know this. Facebook, Google, misused data. This is why it's all a problem. So if people are like, I got to hide myself, well, you better hide yourself under the mattress then, because you can't avoid this stuff, unfortunately. So they're going to have your data one way or the other if you're using the internet. I hate to say it.
One way or another, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get your data. Come on, one way or I mean, that's just it. I mean.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're very confident in your ability, Sony. How many breaches have you had? And you say this is for safety, quote,
right,
unquote.
Right.
And then, okay, so, and then, of course, the others. Some more that we have to sign up for stuff like this. More risk that we could put on it despite your lies. I mean, what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to have put opinion in the news.
I understand like all the other problems that people have had from Epic Games. They had problems with that. There was breaching problems with that. They thought they connected to the, I'm not going to go too deep into it. We'll just say this.
Read the schedule on the community page. Posted on the Twitter page.
Freaking it!
Yeah, I've been waiting that long too. I mean, if I had the ability to start a show, I would have, but I didn't, and I had better things to do today than just wait and wait. Where's Mike? Where's Cash? Where's Mike? Where's Cash?
I mean,
where's Mike? Where's Cash?
Rose.
Hello, Leia.
Oh.
Think about what happened with Steam. Like, it took them, I think it was Australia, some people in Australia, a group in Australia, I think, if I remember, to sue them for Steam to finally have a refund program. I mean, it's just none of this stuff is perfect. Some of it's better, but, nobody has a lot of things that Steam has, from the workshop to the user reviews like GOG does. But even GOG was like, we're going to remove this game. And this is just another example because it's making fun of the Chinese president. Well, that doesn't make you look good, but they want the money. So then you start asking yourself, well, do I want to spend money on GOG anymore? Yeah, they're DRM free, but why did they do this? They said they would never do these things. So it's always a mess.
Don't ever trust these companies to not do what they say they're.
Cash, you believe them?
No, I'm just saying that, it's just one of these things. Do you want to just keep continuing with this when they do something like this, or do you just not want to buy any more of their games on their store? It's a mess.
Well, yeah, and when it comes around to Sony with all this BS, it's like, congratulations, you just limited your sales. You just limited your sales by doing this. Leave it be, and you wouldn't have anything to worry about.
And the article goes on to say PC players will now be required to link their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account in order to play the game. It goes on to say the soon-to-be implemented change to Helldivers 2 terms of service was first revealed to the public via a post made by SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment, to the game's official Steam and Twitter pages on May 2nd. Attention Helldivers, wrote Sony. Due to technical issues at the launch of Helldivers 2, I call bullshit already.
Sorry. You know what? We're being neglectful again, Mike. We got something for that.
I call bullshit.
We allowed the linking requirements for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network accounts to be temporarily optional. The grace period will now expire.
So that means I gotta get a PlayStation account because I don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, it takes like 2 seconds to make one, but it's just
But I
another.
don't want another
I know,
one.
I know, I
Okay.
agree, Baron. I'm just just giving you all the information. That's all, dude.
In defense of the move, the publisher asserted, account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I laugh out loud?
I call bullshit.
Safety and security. Yeah, Sony. What's happened in the last 10 to almost 15 years, huh? Data breach after data breach.
Yeah. You have a lot of faith in me. But this is what Sony. This is probably what Sony thinks we're seeing.
I don't want my pain taken away. I need my pain.
See, they think that's what we're crying out to them for, and we're not.
Well, the biggest problem is when you can't get access to a PSN account, and somebody uses a VIP, and then their account gets banned for some reason. You're just like, what? And there's 60 plus countries that don't have access to a PSN account, and that's a problem right there. That's a big problem.
Well, that's just it. That 60 countries you can be, having play on there. You just shut them out. You just shut out money. Because some of these countries aren't small countries, and they have avid gamers. You hunyucks.
Right.
This is what I have to sit back and say to Sony. It's this one. It's this one. And we're just a bit away from the last one.
Go ahead and play it, because with the way
Okay. There we go.
Sony's track record is running currently, it won't be long before they reach Strike 3.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to be lightly nice.
No.
You don't have to be nice about these things.
You know what? They're fucking around, and they're going to find out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, what they need to do is they need to sit down in a room with us, like this.
What would you say you do here?
That's what I have to talk to, Sony security. What do you actually do here? Sony execs, what do you do here? Because you're going to hear this more and more.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.
But the article goes on to say, the safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studio games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior, they added. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. So in other words, you got to walk on eggshells to play a game about killing automatons and bugs.
Yeah. I mean, if I shout out, damn it, Cat, you suck.
I'm sorry.
Am I going to ban?
I shot the bug. I shot that bug. I didn't mean to, Mr. Bug. Oh, Cash, you fucking moron. What did you do? Oh, you called an airstrike. And guess who was standing there when your airstrike came down? Me.
The funny thing is the way this game is built, like you kill each other in the game, YouTube, you fucking, but
wow.
I know, right? Then you send out the pod again to bring them back, and you can bring them back to the ship closer and do all kinds of stuff. It's hilarious, man.
Yeah, I think
I might have a misfire on my weapon sometime.
That's right. Yeah, it happens. That game is built on friendly fire. Oops. I killed somebody in the game.
Yeah.
And then, oops, brought him back to life.
that was quite a shock for me when I first played. It's like, it's like, wait a moment, I just got killed by somebody else. Oops. What? Oh, sorry about that. It's like, wow, friendly fire. And then I'm opening fire. I got my machine gun going. So what happens? One of you guys runs in front of me.
Yep, it happens. It's just
I've yelled at
funny.
you.
Yep,
I think it was
funny.
me because I was getting chased by an automaton.
No, Cash did too.
It's just funny. Like the way you die in this game is hilarious. Come back to life, you die again. Sometimes you can just stay dead, and then somebody brings you back right by the ship, and then you just get in the ship.
Welcome to Pop Talk, where dying is hilarious.
It is. It's just funny.
And you know what? Whoop is right. Ever since Sony moved their headquarters to the United States, a la California, they've gone down that land of fruit and nuts of California.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Why is it that they eat a lot of soy in Japan, but still are somewhat manly?
Real quick. That's not a derogatory comment toward anybody of a certain lifestyle. YouTube. It's an old expression about California.
Yes,
and the people who live there.
Right. Why is they able to eat so much soy in Japan, and they're still manly people? I mean, look at those sumos. They're you know that they have a daily diet of tofu and various other bean curds and soy. Why is it when you get to the United States, it takes your testicles away? I'm wondering.
Yep. Well, their reason for this also is just ridiculous. It's just more of that cop-out nonsense. It's like, oh, well, we have to do this because, this is a problem. Now, then other people say, well, they said before on the page that this was going to happen. So what are you guys crying about? It's like, well, it's just another hassle, man. But
right.
I mean, it doesn't take long to make an account. But then people who are locked out of that account and can't make a PSN account, like I said, that's a big problem. That's the basically fuck you Sony moment. But anybody who did this, any company, it's not just Sony, but any company that wants to do this stuff, we'll see how this all plays out. But
well, and that's just the thing. People don't have trust of it after the multiple breaches they had.
Right.
Honestly, it was like a new week, a new breach. Over at Sony. And
there were some cases where they were like, "Dad, we don't know what happened. Servers just went down, and we don't know why."
Baron called somebody a hunyuk. That's a lifetime ban.
And it's not just them. It's companies like Microsoft who have had breaches as well. Any company that has had breaches, and they act like they didn't even see it coming. We're in the 21st century. We're all on the internet. There are cyber attacks each and every freaking day.
I'm curious also to know how many is it with the emails? Like, are these employees opening up emails they shouldn't, and then that's what happened? I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened with Insomniac Games recently. So somebody opened an email they shouldn't open.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I didn't read the whole story on that, but I believe you're right. It says, drawing their message to a close, SEI then explained to players that rather than rolling out this change immediately, they would be doing so gradually over the course of the next 4 weeks. As of May 6th, the all-new Helldivers 2 players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account, said SIE. Current players on Steam will start to see the mandatory login from May 30th and will be required to have a linked Steam and PlayStation Network account by June 4th. Even so, even with that little extra leeway for those of us that have been playing, it's stupid. If you can't trust that a Steam player is a verified user, then why have this?
Right. Last time I checked, you got an account. You have all your information at Steam and
Right.
all that.
You have to sign into your Steam account in order to use it, whether it be on the browser or on the app.
Yep. Even when you use the Xbox app, like the freaking Ubisoft launcher pops up and you're like, no, I don't want this. It's turn this off. Okay, now I just have this one. It's just another, it becomes an inconvenience. Sure, it doesn't take long to make an account, but it's like, why do I have to run all these accounts? And people, of course, once again, the argument, well, Blizzard's done this and Ubisoft's done this and EA's done that. It's like, yeah, but it's another hassle. So you get to the point where I'm just going to buy games on that platform so I don't have to use two launchers.
Right. And now what happens? You need to have that extra RAM because you have to have 15 different things opened up so you can play your game.
Right.
I mean, that's what annoys me about playing any game by EA is you open up Steam, then you have to open up the EA launcher. It's like, no, you're using up resources I could use toward the game.
Yeah, same thing with if you buy a Ubisoft game on Steam, you have to open up the Ubisoft Connect launcher. So it's like, well, then I'll just buy this launcher on here so I don't have to deal with this. But it's just another kind of a hassle. It's like I don't really feel like doing it. And people say it's not a headache, but it's like, well, you guys have a PSN account, both Mike and I do. And it doesn't take long to make one. But once again, it's like, well, we'll just see how this plays out. But yes, it's happened. And people said with Steam too. You buy Sea of Thieves. You buy Sea of Thieves on Steam, and then you have to use a Microsoft account. And then people are like, well, they didn't complain about that. Well, it's all bad. But it's also like, did they ban those things in the country? Like they're doing with this PSN thing, where they're even going to give refunds for these countries. So it becomes a mess. So we'll see how they handle this going forward.
It says, we understand that while this may be an inconvenience to some of you, this step will help us to continue to build a community that you are all proud to be a part of, the publisher ultimately concluded. Many thanks for your continued support of Helldivers 2. We want all your information. We want it now, is what they're saying.
Okay, so just to let you know, as Cash was saying that, it's easy to do this. Sign up for Sony. So I put them to the test, and I'm doing that. And guess what? I'm having problems setting up an account. I got everything in. I got everything verified. And then it tells me my sign-in or email or password that I had is incorrect. And I need to reset my password for security reasons of an account that I just started signing up for. That, you're giving me a lot of faith here, Sony.
I can feel the sarcasm. As well, some may question why this development would draw the ire of PC-based Helldivers. After all, a PlayStation Network account is completely free to create. It should be noted that the issue with SIE's new requirements is not one of cost, but one of service. Simply put, there are more hoops a company requires a customer to jump through in order to enjoy their product, the less likely said customer is to do so. Yeah, that's going to turn people away from wanting to play the game. That's not what you should be looking at if you're a business. And Sony is a business.
Yeah. Let's turn away all these potential people.
As such, this introduction of mandatory account linking serves to benefit not the player, for whom convenience is the name of the game, nor Arrowhead Games, who will likely see a small reputational hit due to this move, but only Sony, whose PSN ecosystem will likely see a boost in both engagement and financial revenue thanks to the forthcoming influx of new users. And adding insult to injury, it should be noted that despite mandating players connect their Steam and PSN accounts, as of writing, Arrowhead Games has yet to announce any plans to introduce cross-account progression into the title. That's another stupid move. It is. I mean, you should be able to play with your friends on PS5 and PC if you're using Sony's own network to sign in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
if I'm wrong, tell me.
No, it just then the follow-up article from DOS Gaming has things like in 2022, Sony said PC gamers won't need to log into the PlayStation Network. They made it clear that when playing a PlayStation game on a PC, signing into a PSN is an optional choice. This info is from Sony's own PlayStation Network support page, which launched in 2022.
Congratulate me. I finally got in.
Good job.
Yay! Yay,
So,
everybody. And DJ Ronnie G says, I won the internet yesterday.
I'm proud of you, dude. I'm proud of you.
You did? Oh.
How'd you do that, brother? But we're not done with Sony. We're not done with Sony. Not by a long shot. We got another article.
What?
Related to Sony.
So, you know, Mike,
I thought we're done.
If they said that in 2022, does it seem shady? I mean,
I don't know, Cash. What do you think? Does it seem shady?
Shady Sony? Shady Sony? Yeah. Yeah.
You guys should also know some of the other history. Not only, I think, if I remember, One Piece. They've did this. They've been doing this like a number of years to anime games. They did this to. They definitely did this to One Piece.
Cash.
I know.
Well, look what I'm bringing up here.
I know.
What? You're bringing something up? The hell you say?
It's just funny because this history hasn't changed with them, and I think it's gotten worse with Sony with the censorship stuff.
Yeah.
Sony strikes again. Orders Fate Stay Night devs to censor PlayStation release of art book included in the physical limited editions of Tokihime. Hey, I tried, folks.
Hey, come on, Cash. You're the big Japanese guy. You're a big anime guy. Come on. Let them know what it is.
Come on. Come on, Cash. While Cash is thinking about it, I'll say hello to Wolverine, and I'll also say hello to Jet Sparks.
All right. Let me find out what the hell this is. Continue the article, though, Mike.
All right. So this article is, again, by Spencer Bakuli. It says, in the latest instance of the company unfairly turning their censors' attentions on an East Asian developer, Sony has reportedly ordered Fate Stay Night devs Type Moon to censor a physical art book set to be included in the limited edition of their upcoming visual novel Tsukihime. I'm trying, folks. I'm trying. A piece of Bluegrass Moon from the PlayStation release of the package. Oh gosh, why? We're going to find out why, of course. The first entry in Type Moon's ongoing effort to remake the eponymous series of early 2000s E-Rage visual novels. Go ahead, Cash.
It's pronounced Sokiheim.
Mm-hmm. All right, Sokiheim. Mm-hmm. A piece of Bluegrass Moon follows the story of Shiki Tono, a high school student who possesses the ability to see and manipulate the death lines of both people and objects, in turn bestowing him with the power to kill or destroy anyone or anything he sees fit. Oh, great. Imagine if Baron or Cash got that ability.
Okay,
hard to
yes,
say.
it's pronounced Sukiheim. I want to make sure I get that right.
Sukiheim. Okay, all right.
There you go. Mhm.
Though he normally considers his gifts to be a burden due to the immense pain they cause him when used, after returning to his hometown following the death of his father and finding it caught in the crossfire between warring vampire factions, Shiki soon turns to embracing his special eyes in order to fight back against the forces of the undead. Notably, though, the original Sukiheim visual novel was an adult title filled with sexually explicit writing and imagery. Type Moon have chosen, as they did with the reboot of the aforementioned Fate Stay Night series, to abandon these elements in the remake in order to bring the story to a wider range of audiences.
Okay.
First released in Japan in 2021, Type Moon would eventually announce plans to bring Sukiheim, a piece of Bluegrass Moon, to international Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 players on June 27th, 2024. As part of these plans, in addition to being made available on digital storefronts, the developer revealed that the visual novel would also be receiving a limited edition physical release. Its contents consisting of the game's cart, disc, a collector's box to hold it, and the Sukiheim material of Bluegrass Moon art book. Okay. Unfortunately, international Switch players will receive the art book in its original unaltered state. The same cannot be said for those who consider the PlayStation to be their console of choice. Now, that's interesting. I mean, you've got Nintendo who's saying, yeah, go ahead, release it as it is. And you got, because Nintendo considers themselves a family company, yet you have Sony who's going, oh no, you can't have that.
What are you doing?
We
have to protect you from yourself.
You guys should know though, like it may not be a humongous deal, but they did alter a few things of the Paper Mario remake that's coming out. Nintendo 10. I think it's more Nintendo USA, but or America.
I did hear about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Taken to the game's official English language Twitter account on May 1st, Type Moon sadly confirmed to players, due to differing platform publishing policies, the art book included in the physical limited edition for PlayStation 4 will be printed with graphic modifications to 2 pages, while the art book included in the physical limited edition for Nintendo Switch will be printed without the modifications. Despite these adjustments to the PlayStation 4 art book, the game will remain unaltered for both PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. They then clarified regarding the title's actual contents. We apologize for the inconvenience and thank you for your support of Sukiheim, a piece of Bluegrass Moon. As of writing, it is currently unknown which particular illustrations will be censored upon the art book's official release. Meanwhile, as noted above, Sukiheim, a piece of Bluegrass Moon, is currently set to start the hunt on June 27th, 2024. All right, Cash, what do you have to say about it?
Well,
yeah, hit us with it, man.
This is unfortunately been a pattern with Sony. You guys should also know, even Fire Emblem games, and with Nintendo, you didn't even notice it, and until like later on, you're like, wow, they censored this too, censored the chest of the woman or whatever. But it's all censorship. And when you dig into this more, you're like, why they don't need to do this now? Nintendo decided okay, we're going to go in a more, we're not going to censor this as much. But Sony's like, and Microsoft does the same thing. Sony, I think, has been worse lately, at least lately. But they did this with Fairy Tale with some outfits. They've done this. Grand Blue Fantasy is, of course, censored on both PC and PS5. I can't remember if it's on PS4 or not, but this has been going on for a while. They've censored outfits. They're like, oh, the modern audience or whatever, it's all the same nonsense that, we can't take this. How dare this woman wear a two-piece, or how dare whatever. It seems stupid, but that's like how they start thinking. And so when this comes to the Western, the localization, the Western, they start changing this stuff, and it doesn't need to be changed. Like, who is really that upset about this, that this outfit looks sexy on this woman or whatever? It doesn't matter. But they've been doing this now with Fairy Tale. They censored that. If I remember, they censored also One Piece, the game, on PS5. And so you have to decide, even when you're buying it now on PC, is it going to be censored because of Sony? So, but like,
exactly. And
Whoopa pointed
let's not
out,
forget that
mm-hmm.
there's a game that's being remade, and it's supposed to be released sometime this year, and that's Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. What is Sony going to censor in that game? And you better hope that game comes to PC if you want to see it in its original form, as it was intended. Because if Sony's going to get butthurt over a leotard that Eve wears in Stellar Blade, because it shows a little bit more leg skin, a little bit more cleavage than they would like, then who knows what they're going to do when Juliet Starling's remake comes out of Lollipop Chainsaw, and what they're going to freak out about. I mean, come on. I was looking at that screen for Eve, and I'm thinking, okay, this is tame in comparison to a lot of things we've seen.
Mm-hmm. It is. And Sony's not...
heck, we saw women in the 70s and 80s and 90s wearing leotards and one-piece bathing suits similar to what Eve has on in Stellar Blade. Nobody threw a hissy fit about it.
Well, different time, but yeah, I agree.
I know. I'm just...
I know. Yeah, it's just, this is nonsense has been going on, and they're not fair about this. The Abby thing is fine with them, but something like Stellar Blade isn't. It makes no sense. It's all just becomes hypocrisy at that point. If you're going to be fair about the rules, be fair about that. Then the stuff of Abby in The Last of Us should not be allowed. And Whoop was right. I mean, that's a good argument that I've seen from a lot of people lately, including myself. If you're going to have this Abby stuff, then you need to allow to allow the Stellar Blade. Yeah.
And I had somebody over on the Rumble side comment on one of our previous editions of Pop Talk where we were talking about the Stellar Blade and the censorship, and they asked me, do I think they're going to censor The Last of Us 2, especially Abby? I said, not going to happen.
No.
Not gonna happen.
Yep. And remember, they're also fine with bear stuff too. These are the two arguments that people have made. And so you guys are fine with all that, but you're upset about the Stellar Blade issue, Sony? You got to be clear about this. If you're fine with this stuff, you got to be fine with all of it. But they're hypocrites. So yeah.
They're degenerates is what they are.
And they're degenerates, yes. Yes.
I have the perfect compromise. I just got back. The perfect compromise. Yeah, go ahead. Have your censored version, right?
Yes.
But it should be up to the player to decide. There should be a little button.
Yeah.
Do I want it to be the uncensored version, the regular version, we should say?
Yeah.
Or do we want the candy ass version? And they could put that in the hands of us.
That would be fine.
The players. Our sensibility.
exactly.
But according, and this is just my observation of how things are going nowadays, according to a lot of these companies, we can't make these decisions. We're incapable of making these types of decisions.
Right.
What we should and shouldn't censor for ourselves.
Yeah, except
We're
for one thing.
incapable of thinking. But here's the thing: we are capable of making our own decisions.
Right. Instead, you're going to make a bunch of blue-haired land whales who don't buy your stuff, won't buy your stuff, dictate to you how it should be.
Right.
Yep.
And it doesn't help that these people are also in the media too. So then they start writing these articles and they're trying to bring in this certain fan fiction and whatever, but it's like it shouldn't matter to them. You don't like it, just don't buy it. It's always that simple. And then of course when the companies come out and say that, then people are like, okay, you guys are going to do this and we're not going to buy this. So yeah.
Yeah, well, these are the same people that sit back on the TV and wag their little fingers at us, and their ways calling us incel virgin babies that only get upset and whine and cry and all that. Then they go home and play Custard Revenge.
It's quite possible.
The thing is, Barron's only half joking on that one.
Yeah, I mean, Barron's in there with the webcam. I got him. Man.
But no, I mean, I'm being, slightly facetious, but the underlying tone is, what do you have on your computer? What do you have in your games?
Right.
Do you get all upset on yourself, but you got to toe the line? Or are you a Kool-Aid drinker? And what exactly do you have on your computer? Do we have the feds come by and visit you and make sure that your computer isn't infected with something like that horrible virus called CP? The CP virus? I mean, leave us alone. Leave us alone. When they want to mock that flag, don't tread on me. And what is basically don't tread on me mean? Leave us alone. You want us to leave you alone? Well, it's a mutual thing.
Yeah.
Leave us alone. This is not your world.
There's some crazy games out there, and there's adult games. There's even adult games that even Steam has censored or didn't put on there. There was I can't remember what it was. Devotion. That's right. Devotion. That game Steam wouldn't even put on there because it made some joke about the Chinese president. But GOG actually had it on their store. Or I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Steam had it for a few weeks, then they took it off. But GOG, because they wanted that, basically the Chinese money from the country, that they were like, okay, we're going to play the odds, and they wanted that money. But then people were like, well, why did you do this? And like I brought that up before because it was crazy to me that GOG did that. But Steam actually had it on their store for at least a few weeks, and then they took it down. So,
well, I think if that's the case, okay, fine. We'll take out the reference to your wonderful leader over there, but we're going to put the Winnie the Pooh song in.
Yep.
There's our compromise right there. How you like that, China? Go to San Francisco, because that's the only way that town gets cleaned up. We need you to come back to California more. You do that a few times, and California will be clean.
Right.
Spotless.
Yeah, exactly. And the company was fine with it, Baron. They were fine with Devotion being pulled off, and then they just sold it on their website. But I'm sure they made less money, and it kind of just went away because I don't know if people are talking about it, but people were excited about that, and there was a number of fans that were, and then it just that all happened, and that happened just a few years ago. So,
if you're concerned about a vicious, nasty regime like China getting upset with you, well, there's a certain digit on your finger that you can wave at them and say, "We don't play that game here, homie."
Yep.
And that's what we need to do more of.
And of course, GOG is owned by CD Projekt Red, so that's a Polish company.
Project Red? Red? And it's Poland? I wonder what side that they're on. I think we need to look into this a little bit more.
Yep. Now, 15 years from the story, unless you guys have one more thing you'd like to add?
Well, I think they should think about the sensibility of North Korea. Can you imagine all the money they're losing out in North Korea? Quit making fat jokes. Come on. Just do that. Quit doing that, and you'll just have a firestorm of activity there in North Korea for your stuff.
Yeah.
Dear leader, the game.
All right, Baron. Right. I'd rather play another Mad Max game.
Me too.
Like the one from 2015, which you've played. I played. Wolverine's currently playing it.
It was my first buy on Steam. That was the thing that got me onto Steam. I saw that they had it for a ridiculously cheap price. It was like $4 for $4.99 maybe. And I look at myself and I see what it's normally priced at, which isn't a bad price, mind you. And I say to myself, self, you should do this. Let's give it a whirl. I never regretted it.
Yep, it was free. Was it at least been a few years or more on PlayStation Plus, and I picked it up. So.
Yeah, and I agree with Wolverine because I've said it many times. It's a fun game. I even had somebody stop by the channel when I was playing it saying, I can't believe you're playing a 9-year-old game. Yeah, it's a 9-year-old game that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. God. It's relatively, bugless, virtually. I mean, every game has bugs, but I mean, the playing is seamless, and I've never had an issue. And the graphics still hold up, doggone it. It's almost 10 years old. It's still holding up. Wow, man.
And, right now, if you want to get your Mad Max fix, I did see that the original and the Road Warrior, which is my personal favorite, are currently on Tubi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're on Tubi. Yep.
So we have this article from Superhero Hype. George Miller talks Mad Max franchise's future after Furiosa.
By the way, Mike, movie night.
I know. Here's the thing, though. Which one do we watch? Do we watch the first, or do we watch Road Warrior? Which I think is a better film.
Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior, man, the best. That's the best out of all the series. All of them. Second place being Thunderdome. It has its charms, but not as good as Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior. And the first one's a good film too. It really is.
It is. I just like the second one better.
Yeah, most people do that because that was the one that really kicked in that apocalyptic car race genre type of thing. The post-apocalyptic stuff and the survival, and you just watch that movie. It's like, ooh. And then of course you think, oh, these guys, and they must be blistering hot out there in Australia and all that, and they're wearing these leathers and such. And it was quite Vernon Wells was saying it was freaking freezing out there. We had moment we got off the camera, we bundled ourselves up. I guess when you have assless chap, good wind blow drinks the old happy sacks.
But George Miller talks Mad Max franchise's future after Furiosa. This is by Andre Joseph. It was posted on May 2nd. Furiosa director George Miller has revealed his plans to develop another project exploring Mad Max's backstory. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Miller shared how an outline of Max's history created during the production of 2015's Mad Max Fury Road will be the basis for a future project set in the wasteland. In doing what we did in preparation of Mad Max Fury Road, we also wrote what happened to Max in the year before we encountered him in that film, Miller said. And as we get towards the end of Furiosa, the chronology, basically, we had to see that Mad Max was lurking around somewhere because we do know what happened. The writers know what happened to Mad Max in that year before, and we have a whole story of that, which I would like to do sometime if I get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
Miller continued by clarifying the status of the Mad Max prequel. Well, we are certainly working on it, and as I say, we wrote that basically as a novella, and now we've got the chance. We will get that into a screenplay form, and then we'll take it from there. What remains unclear about? Yeah,
I didn't know they had that.
Neither did I.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the headline of this article that caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
What remains unclear about Miller's Mad Max prequel idea is how connected or disconnected it will be from the original 3 Mad Max installments starring Mel Gibson, which, as you saw in the thumbnail, chose to go for Mel Gibson as Mad Max instead of Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
The franchise began with 1979's Mad Max, where the titular hero began as a police officer hell bent on avenging his murdered family against a motorcycle gang. In 1981's The Road Warrior, aka Mad Max 2, it says it saw Max defend wasteland settlers against fuel-seeking marauders. In 1985's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome saw Max lead a tribe of wasteland children to freedom. Gibson was eventually replaced by the younger Tom Hardy in Fury Road. And it says, what is Furiosa about? Set 15 years before the events of Mad Max Fury Road, Furiosa stars Anya Taylor-Joy in a tale that sees the future war captain caught in the middle of a battle between 2 warring tyrants in the wasteland. The movie stars Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth alongside Tom Burke, Aaliyah Brown, I'm not really sure how you pronounce that one, Nathan Jones, and Angus Simpson. Miller directed and co-wrote the screenplay with Nico Lathras, not Zathras.
I knew you were going to say something about that.
He beat me to it. He beat me to it.
Come on, guys.
It was an opening. I know they gave you the opening.
It's there.
I was going to do it. But he beat me.
It was the one.
Yeah,
it was the one.
The very first Mad Max was just on cable recently, so
yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely like to watch Road Warrior again. I don't remember the last time I watched that.
No, really.
Zathras. Not Zathras. Zathras.
Not Cyprus. Zathras. But no, there's a bit of a interesting history when it comes around to Mad Max. Like when it was released over here in the States for the first time, they overdubbed everybody. And that was the only way. Yeah, because they didn't want to have the Aussie accent. So they wanted to.
Oh, well.
Yeah, right. So they had good old Americans doing that. But eventually, and it was kind of a big thing for a little bit, people started saying, hey, we're bringing over the actual true Mad Max with the original, voices, coming from our actors. And of course, that was a big thing. And I think that's about the only way you get it now, which is, again, good.
That's the way it should be.
Now, of course, Mad Max 2, the Road Warrior, because I say it both ways, because in Australia it was known as Mad Max, and still is, by the way, Mad Max 2. They call it the Road Warrior here. Actually, when it comes down to it, I think that's the better one. Only for one thing. After a while, you get tired of these numbers after movies.
I got you.
It's like, so you had Mad Max, and then you had the Road Warrior, and then it should have just been Beyond Thunderdome, or Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Just Mad Max Beyond it. if you want to, just go Mad Max the Road Warrior. Just drop the freaking numbers. And Mad Max has always had a convoluted history. I'm talking about in-world history in their universe, because things don't exactly mesh up, but that's kind of okay, because what we're getting is, almost like hearing a folklore. I mean, you're hearing the story of Mad Max and the Road Warrior from the point of the feral kid, and he's recounting what was going on. And of course, then you got the recounting, obviously, from the children in the Beyond Thunderdome. No other films were needed after Mad Max. The Road Warrior, because, and I'm going to drop a guy by the name of Minty, who's in Australia, that talks about movies, things that you don't know about. But as he was talking about, it's like, you don't need to have anything more, because the first Mad Max was about Max losing his humanity. And I've said this before, but there might be people out there who haven't heard this before. That's the reason why I bring it up. Mad Max, the Road Warrior, was about him gaining his humanity. It was a duology. It was 2 books. It was, booked in together. So what happens? You have Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome. And what is it? He loses his humanity again and needs to try to get it back in one film. So again, like I said, it's a fun film. It's entertaining in that regards. How often we say Penguin Dome, and everyone knows we're referencing Thunderdome, right? And in the other side characters, Master and Blaster. Of course, who can forget Auntie Entity with good old Tina? Tina
Turner.
Oh, thank you. I had a brain fart there. It was almost right there, but the brain was going, duh. Yeah, I'm going to make sure you don't know anything. And I know
for a second there, Barrett, I thought you were going to do your Jesse the Body Ventura impression. I'm sorry. You can't hide this information.
I went past my mental capability allocation. In fact, I just used the last minute saying allocation. So I'm just going to go in the corner here and watch my kid Tyrell as he tries to as he flounders in his failed attempt to become some sort of producer and filmmaker that I tried to prop him up with, but no one said they liked him. And I'm sitting with my Zubas commando style. And I hunted man. Yeah, these are all things that good old Jesse said while he was in office. And you wonder why his popularity dropped like a rock. But and I know some people are surprised when I say that I didn't like Fury Road. And the reason why is I thought this was a bait and switch movie. I went in to see a Mad Max film. Well, for most of it, he's got that mask on like he's a muzzled dog being chained up and led around on a leash, and everything's focused on Phasma or whatever the hell her name, Fusa, or right? It's like no. If you have her there, they should be equals. And it doesn't surprise because George Miller brought in a feminist to help write the story in the script. So it became, again, one of these woke, I am woman, hear me bitch movie type of things. And women are better than men. We know that Max is supposed to be a hero, but get in your corner, Max. And I didn't like it for that. It's like, at least be honest. At least this new film coming up is honest. Which, of course, okay, now you got me more interested in seeing this. If you've been more honest in the front, the Mad Max gets cut by Fusa, whatever the hell her name is. Yeah, of course. Then I would understand. Okay, I know what I'm going to be getting into. So it was greatly disappointed.
I've only watched clips of that, so I don't I maybe sometime I'll watch the whole film.
There are some great scenes in there, don't get me wrong. But overall, it's basically men are bad, women good.
Mm-hmm. And Anonymous says, we don't need another sequel.
Sequel.
We don't need another film woke. All we want is what's beyond the Marxist drones.
But yeah. And now they want to do a prequel. Well, the prequel's been done. It's called Mad Max. What I really would love to see, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to end the Mad Max movie, because I thought Tom Hardy did a good job.
No, he's quite an actor, man. He's quite an actor. Yeah.
I think he did a good Max in there. He was a good replacement. But I want Mill to come back one last time.
Sure.
Well, I was going to ask you, what would you feel like, Mel Gibson coming back, but as an older Max?
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, have it Max going out like a hero.
His last hurrah.
His last hurrah. And yeah, I mean, even go so far that it wouldn't hurt me if the character died in that film. But don't have him go out like a bitch.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Don't have him go like Han Solo, having his kid put a lightsaber through him and then falls down a chasm like a villain does.
Right.
Or Luke Skywalker walking up because, I strained myself too much to have my my Force Ghost or my Force Phantom go halfway across the galaxy, so I'll just die. Yeah. I mean, lamest death ever. That was not
lamest
a heroic
death ever.
I agree, Wolverine. Hollywood probably would not let him. Yeah, it'd have to be on Mel's terms. I agree. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only way it would happen.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I think if you proposed a movie where it is Max film, we're not doing a bait and switch. Maybe even have a character alongside that would be like almost passing the torch on.
Mm-hmm.
With that, maybe there's Mad Max Jr. that came along somewhere along the way. Whatever, right? And maybe it could be Tom Hardy, right? And it's like, this is Mad Max Jr. Oh, that's how he became Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
He took over after his father. So this Mad Max film, you have the two Maxes, and it explains the differences between it. And of course, in world, why everything that should be taking a lot longer seems a lot less because you have it so bunched together. There should be more time. When you have all these people in certain ways, you're still too close to when the bomb went.
And have a little foreshadowing where Max says something to his son. I'm not going to be around much longer.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, and follow it through. That out there is bait. That's a great line. That's bait. I mean, that's a great line. And keep it up. Max knows, and he's passing those words on, and drops that, that's bait. And now it's like, oh, okay. I remember now. He said that in Fury Road. Okay. But no, I mean, I would love to see a closeout of Mel Gibson as Mad Max properly. And yes, I think, killing off that. No, he was not the older version, because the feral kid went somewhere else and never saw Max again. They went into one of the bombed out cities, or with the inside the pickup truck, and through the better lands. And he specifically states in that film, and we never saw him again. So no, it's just like the gyro captain in the first and second film. Technically, they're not the same person. And a lot of people wanted to sit back and say, "Oh, the kid that's with him is the feral child." No, it's not the feral child. Again, one, he is not. He never saw Max again, and two, I know the gyro captain ran off with that cute little 18-year-old in the bus to help repopulate the city and such, but no words between 2 and 3 that they really sit back and specifically say. And that's what I'm talking about, the disjointed history of Mad Max. And it's they could really go great. Mm-hmm. Disappointed with Fury Road. I didn't want to be, but I did.
Well,
I was.
It's how I feel about stuff like Hellboy, Baron.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't get that third. We couldn't get that third movie with Ron Perlman. They couldn't find a way to get that done, and I'm like, well, that could have been like his send off. But no, They have to remake this stuff, or
with AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you saw that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that there's a possible AI thing. There's no. Now there is an AI, but it's like I don't know, guys.
Yeah. Still, you say no. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so we've talked about worth for Paramount.
I was gonna say we've talked about Sony on the gaming side tonight. Now we're talking about Sony on the movie side, and Sony Pictures Apollo offered to buy Paramount Global for $26 billion in cash. Joint bid comes as media company's board is considering merger deal with Skydance Media.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, in other words, folks, Sony is willing to buy the studio up and kick it off to the side just to make sure it doesn't go to Skydance, which could be a possible threat to them. Because that's what's going to happen.
This is by Todd Spangler. It says, in the latest twist in Paramount Global's M&A saga, Sony Pictures Entertainment and Apollo Global Management have made a bid to take Paramount private with an all-cash buyout offer of $26 billion. Sony and private equity giant Apollo submitted a letter with the non-binding offer Wednesday to Paramount Global, as first reported by the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. The bid, which would include the assumption of debt and could be negotiated, would be a premium over the company's current $22 billion enterprise value. It goes on to say the tag team buyout bid comes as Paramount Paramount Global board special committee established to consider M&A proposals is evaluating the best and final offer from Skydance Media to merge Paramount and Skydance while keeping Paramount Global public. Sherry Redstone, the controlling shareholder of Paramount Global, is known to prefer consummating a deal with David Ellison Skydance, whose bid is backed by Redbird Capital Partners and KKR. Reps for Paramount Global and the board special committee declined to comment. Reps for Apollo and Sony Entertainment didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. Shares of Paramount Global jumped 13% on news of the offer from Apollo and Sony Entertainment, closing at $13.86 per share Thursday. It's not clear how Paramount's board will proceed on the Sony Apollo proposal, having rejected previous overtures from the private equity firm. The company has an exclusive negotiating window with Skydance that it ended Friday, but discussions among the parties could extend beyond that. If it happens, the combination of Sony Pictures with Paramount Pictures would likely result in mass layoffs. Well, that's usually what happens when one company buys out another, and knock the number of major Hollywood studios from 5 to 4. After Disney took over 20th Century, Sony Corp, which acquired Columbia Pictures in 1990 for $3.5 billion, is the largest studio operator in the industry that does not have a broad-scale direct-to-consumer streaming play. Amid the
Congratulations. Congratulations. More monopoly. You heard it right there, folks. It drops down the studio one more peg, which has less variety.
Amid the deal wrangling, Bob Bakish earlier this week was removed as CEO of Paramount Global, replaced by Drew. I've never even seen this word before, but anyways, triumvirate. There we go. I just looked at it and I said it. Triumvirate of senior executives. CBS chief George Cheeks. Yeah, that's the name that you want to have. Paramount Pictures CEO.
Yo, I'm George Cheeks. Shit.
My wife's Sandy.
Brian Robbins and Chris McCarthy, president and CEO of Showtime MTV Entertainment Studios and Paramount Media Networks. It goes on to say, word emerged last month that Sony was mulling over a joint bid, with Apollo for the entirety of Paramount Global. Apollo had previously offered more than $27 billion for Paramount Global, including debt, and prior to that, floated an $11 billion offer for just Paramount Pictures. Both of Apollo's prior offers were rebuffed by Paramount Global Board's special committee. Under the proposal bid with Apollo, Sony would be the majority owner of the combined company. Sony Corp would merge Sony Pictures Entertainment into a joint venture with Paramount Global. Sony and Apollo would both contribute cash to finance the deal. What's unclear is what would happen to the 28 local TV stations CBS owns. FCC rules bar foreign entities, i.e., Tokyo-based Sony, from having majority ownership control of broadcast TV stations. So Sony would need to carve out a separate U.S. ownership structure for the station group. In the Skydance scenario, Redstone would sell her stake in National Amusements, which holds 77% of the voting shares in Paramount Global, to Skydance, whereupon Skydance would merge with Paramount Global in an all-stock deal that would value Skydance at roughly $5 billion. Paramount Global would remain a publicly traded company. Redstone would receive up to $2 billion from Skydance NEI transaction. In addition, Skydance would pay a premium for Paramount Global shares and pay $3 billion to the company to help pay down debt. Ellison would serve as CEO of the merged Paramount Skydance, while Jeff Shell, the former NBC Universal CEO, who is chairman of sports and media at Redbird and works under founder and managing partner Gary Cardinale, would take on a key management role. All I can say is you don't want a company like Sony to purchase Paramount and create an even bigger monopoly, like Barron said.
Yeah,
these monopolies,
especially Sony,
they're a huge problem, from the Microsoft getting Activision Blizzard to all this stuff. It's just we need more competition, and we've shown over and over again we do. Too much power with these companies and these monopolies is just not good for business. Right. It's not good for consumers. It's been proven.
And, Paramount has themselves to blame for the current debt they're in.
Of course.
Yep.
They made some stupid decisions too. They made some good decisions. Well,
dumb.
They made quite a bit.
If we're talking about like Star Trek and stuff, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay.
Let's go out there and make absolute.
Let's look at the big picture.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Dead Reckoning wasn't that big of a success.
No, it was over budget. Yes, and
Mhm.
that is Paramount's fault. Yes.
And let's crap on the fans. Let's just go crap on the fans. The fans are letting you know what they want, and you crap on them.
Well, they also put crap stuff in kids shows too, like on Paramount Plus. So I mean, it's is that Paramount Plus? Yeah, at least certain things.
The My Little Pony, the pegging show. I mean, here we go. Here, make sure you wear this horsey gimp hood.
Hey, where's that pony, man? Oh, I gotta smoke a cigarette.
Maybe that pony can snort the coke like that donkey did in Bachelor Party.
Yeah.
No sarcasm. No sarcasm.
Right. These monopolies are crazy, man. I don't care how much Apple has or whoever. It's just, they need to break apart. We need more competition in this country.
We need a trust.
In this world.
We need a trust buster.
Exactly.
We absolutely need one.
We do.
Yeah, and Wolverine's not wrong. If anybody's seen Demolition Man, they know his reference. Taco Bell owned everything.
The survivor of the fast food wars.
Well, I'm not in favor of Sony getting Paramount.
No.
That means they can control what movies come out and what they censor in their movies and TV shows.
Yep.
And they kind of lost some of their big properties.
I mean, you had Sony Pictures, right? So Afterlife, that was I would say a big success, Mike. I would say that Ghostbusters movie was a big success after the failure of the 2016 Ghostbusters. And then, of course, you have Frozen Empire, which has not made as much money as Afterlife. And then, of course, you had Spider-Man.
I'll go ahead and bring up the box office numbers right now. As
they got them out now? They got them out by now? Cool. Okay.
But yeah, go ahead, Baron.
What?
Oh, I thought you wanted to add some more to it.
No, I'm just saying. Wow, Box Office Mojo, they finally got it out.
I would hope by this time they would have it ready.
But what I'm saying is, like Sony Pictures, they've had some ups, obviously some downs. Obviously, the Spider-Verse was a big hit, as it made a lot of money. I can't remember if it made more than Into the Spider-Verse, but Across the Spider-Verse did very well for them. Frozen Empire. Not really sure. I don't think it's making the money that Afterlife did. Spider-Man, of course, was a big success, but we know why that was. Also nostalgia, which is fine.
Real quick, this is the worldwide total for the Afterlife sequel, Frozen Empire. No. Yeah. I'm sorry, but the movie does fall apart. I know I initially gave the movie a high rating, but then I sat and thought about it for a couple of days. Went, no, the movie wasn't that good at all. These parts didn't work. Phoebe was a step backwards as far as character development.
And see, it was all because of that, Mike, that they don't make numbers that the other one did. I mean, it was just your harsh criticism like that and retracting a point from it. You got that power, man. But, I also just want one thing to notice. What's number 2?
A movie I almost went and saw yesterday. The Phantom Menace.
And I mean, it's
for its 25th anniversary.
Right. Still making money. What else is new?
And it's not out there with a wide release. It's the selective. Only 2,700 theaters, right? Which is a lot less than most, and it brings in 8 million.
Yeah, about $8 billion. That would have been funny, but yeah, $8 billion. All of a sudden, where'd all that money come from? Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. But for a film that's about 25 years old now, I'd say, right?
Yeah,
because they were celebrating the 25th anniversary this weekend.
Right. For a film that's 25 years old, widely available on Blu-ray, DVD, even VHS, because that one I think was the last Star Wars film to be put on VHS. After having all that and being probably one of the most put upon of the Star Wars films, you put it in the theater like this, and boom, $8 million. There you go. Have fun.
Yeah, it's considered a classic by many people. So
it is a classic. I don't care what you say. I mean, it was a thrill to see Empire at my local theater today. Ticket price is only $10.
I personally also think it's a classic. It's a fantastic film. Solid dialogue, great story.
Mom and Pa Kettle made sure that they had the biggest sheet available hanging from the walls to film it on, and there, boom. For the first time in this area, we have Empire Strikes Back. It's a first run.
Fuck you, Baron.
Not did you get your Google pizza, Mikey? That's what
we're on prime time right now, Baron, so I can say it a little more.
Yeah, well, it doesn't stop you for the other one either.
But yeah, The Phantom Menace #2 made $8 million. Challengers $7 million. Tarot $6 million. Godzilla Khan: The New Empire $4 million. Civil War, which I saw the trailer for that movie before Empire started. I'm sorry, Civil War looks stupid.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And then Unsung Hero $3 million. Kung Fu Panda 4 $2 million. Well, 2.4 if you want to get technical about it.
But Abigail, 188. Yeah, 188 total gross so far. So
yeah. So it's not doing bad, and neither is that Godzilla Khan: The New Empire.
And I mean that's been 6 weeks, right? In the theaters for that one, for Godzilla. 188 for that one. But then you drop down for 7 weeks for Ghostbusters, 109. And then you hit Kung Fu Panda, which has been out for 2 more weeks over that, 188, same as Kong.
According to the budget, the Challengers is 55 million. I saw an article before about this. I think it was Batman in the Comics, actually. They just ripped that movie to shreds. But wow, they definitely are not making their money back.
And Doom Part 2, that comes on Blu-ray, I believe. It's either this week or next week.
But even when you talk to people at the theaters, they're like, yeah, we're putting this still more in theaters because it's still a popular movie. It's like, yeah, I guess that's not really surprising. They made a lot of people happy with it. But I'm still going to be interested to see what you have to say about it, Baron, since you've read the books.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can do that. I have access to it. I need to sit down and actually watch it with a lot of stuff. It went down so fast. But I was going to sit back and say there about the Spy Family. You take a look at it has 7 million total gross, right? It's only in 200. I can't remember, a ridiculously low number of theaters.
Yep,
and it's pulled that in. Maybe if they did a little bit more, making it accessible to more people, it'd probably have more money. But a lot of these over here in the States are afraid to do that. Why? They know that this stuff, anime and such, will just steamroller over their MCUs and DCFUs.
It will. It definitely will.
I mean, really, honestly. Which is probably why Sony wants to take over as much as they can.
I don't know what their true motivations are, other than wanting to censor content as far as the gaming is concerned.
Well, they like to do other censoring too. So,
Yes.
I mean, when you see what's going on in gaming, you should be a little concerned, everybody. Really.
Yep. That's fine, man. I mean, I understand that, especially people who've read the book. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you've read the books, I still need to read the books. I'll get to them.
Yeah. And just what I need, they have to read it the fourth time now. I guess it's like,
right.
It's like, it makes me want to read the book again. I got other books I need to read the first time.
I just, it's funny when you read these other stories. It's just like we've talked about, guys. It's like, man, there's just so much money they could do this, and all this money they can get. They just don't do it, and it's like it's there for the taking. They just don't do it, and it's like, come on.
Come on, do it.
Come on.
Do it now.
Come on.
Just like you needing a PS account. Guess what? You just hose yourself.
Right.
I mean, honestly, you just did. So, I mean, these are not the brightest bulbs on the tree, folks.
No. No, they're not. And, this isn't a bright idea, at least from my point of view. Not a joke. He-Man movie set on Earth gets a release date. We already had a He-Man movie set on Earth, damn it.
Right. It was one of the things that people were saying was the weak thing about it. So why won't we double down on that failure?
Because that's all they want to do nowadays, is double down on failure. The official synopsis is a complete joke. It's Rip He-Man, or Rest in Peace He-Man and Masters of the Universe. This is by Matt McGloin. It was published a day ago.
You mean Kevin Smith didn't do a good enough job kicking He-Man in the nuts? No, we got to do the final.
I guess he kicked him. He kicked He-Man in the nuts, and then I guess the last season that they have, from what I've been hearing from some people, it was literally decent. But I'm like, no, after that first season, watching those 5 episodes is rough.
Yeah, well, I have a sneaky feeling that Kevin Smith was reined back a bit in that. Really. Yeah.
I mean, really, we don't need another Masters of the Universe movie set on Earth. You want to watch one? Well, we had a watch party a couple months ago.
Right. I want to see Eternia. I want to film Step Foley in Eternia. I want his mom to be...
I want that. I want that sci-fi fantasy aspect that Masters of the Universe had on Eternia. I want to see Castle Grayskull. I want to see Snake Mountain.
Agreed.
But and more importantly, we look at it here. He-Man's mom is human. He's half human. I can understand there is there is a connection to Earth, but she was an astronaut, landed on Eternia, realized she was stuck there, and had a good life.
Well, what do you guys think about
life with Keen Randor?
What do you guys think about this? Have a He-Man show that follows the 2002 animated one. How about that? A live action.
That'd be fine with me. I enjoy the 2002 He-Man.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I like the thought, though. That's the one thing that kind of, with the evolution of Skeletor, I liked it when, before they started doing a lot of retconning, like for 2002s or whatever, that it was like, Skeletor is kind of an undead or some sort of creature like that, instead of it's the king's brother that got his face melted off. Which I would think would kill you. But, how do you see? You lost your eyes.
Hey, Skeletor, you boob, you fur-brained boob.
Well, see, that's just it. I put a lot of faith in the original He-Man because of that. But that's me. That's me.
The article says if you thought Kevin Smith didn't know what he was doing, well, Smith now looks like a Steven Spielberg. The bozos in Hollywood are back at it as a He-Man movie, which is set on Earth, gets an official theatrical release date. Amazon MGM. Go ahead.
Who is this again? Who is doing this again?
Matt McGloin.
Oh, Matt McGloin. Oh, Cosmic Book News. These guys are starting to catch up to Bounding in the Comics here. I think they realize,
They've got
Amazon, MGM, and Mattel have announced the Masters of the Universe movie will be released June 5th, 2026, worldwide in theaters. Here's the synopsis, if you can believe it. And yes, it's official.
And yes, sadly, I can believe it.
As can I, Baron. 10-year-old Prince Adam, who crashed to Earth in a spaceship and was separated from his magical power sword, the only link to his home on Eternia. After tracking it down almost 2 decades later, Prince Adam is whisked back across space to defend his home planet against the evil forces of Skeletor. Wait a minute, I didn't say that part right. Against the evil forces of Skeletor.
There you go. You boob. Yeah.
Da 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 da.
No. Wrong franchise, Baron.
Oh.
Baron, are you hoping for the He-Man Transformers crossover? Is that what you're hoping for?
Well, can you imagine Grimlock and He-Man working together?
Me, Grimlock, no like Skeletor.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Cringer. I need to have a
I need to have
warrior.
a Dinobot.
Yeah, I need a Dinobot.
Oh, man.
But to defeat such a powerful villain, Prince Adam will first need to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. How soon before they cuck He-Man?
He-Man. Oh, they already did.
In the movie, Baron.
Oh, this movie. Yeah, well, I'm just saying they already kind of did the cucking.
I know they already did that on Netflix.
Netflix, yes.
Yeah, and in some sense, I think that's kind of a autobiographical story of Kevin Smith. But that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says additional details include Travis Knight is directing, who directed the Bumblebee movie. Chris Butler wrote the script, who wrote Kubo and the two strange stop-motion animated action fantasy film that was directed by Travis Knight. Mattel Films, Robbie Brenner, who recently produced Barbie, is on board as a producer, and also producing includes escape artist Todd Black, Jason Blumenthal, and Steve Tisch, all three of which produced The Equalizer 3. Okay, The Equalizer 3 was a good movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No cast has been announced, but previously said to be up to play He-Man includes Kyle Allen and Noah Centino, with fans even choosing Zac Efron. I can see Zac Efron as He-Man, just bleach his hair blonde, and
he could make it work. Yeah,
he was good as Kevin Von Erich. So, and I highly recommend The Iron Claw. The movie is a complete joke regarding the plot being set on Earth. If I had to guess, it's because it will be a lot cheaper as they don't have to make and pay for the Eternia sets. The synopsis sounds like a cross between Superman and Thor or Star-Lord, but worse. He-Man isn't set on effing Earth. It's set on a different planet. It's unbelievable how clueless these clowns are. It would be like setting Star Wars on Earth. The 1987 He-Man movie starring Dolph Lundgren was also set on Earth, and it's an effing joke. Okay, I think that was just like, but power of anger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't
really,
blame him. I don't blame him. Come on, I really don't.
I don't either. I can understand, but really, looking back at it, it wasn't that bad of a film, really.
It's got some fun moments. We watched it recently, and it was
yeah. And I confess, back at that time, I was not happy that it wasn't set fully on return yet. They had to go to Earth. It's like, oh, this again, you know. But it's still fun. It's still fun.
No, when I saw Vasquez Rocks, I was expecting to see a Gorm pop out. You know, as Cobra Khan.
Ow. Out. Get out.
I referenced a Masters of the Universe character, Cobra Khan.
I know. Yeah, I know, but it's so close to Cobra Kai. Yeah.
What? A new He-Man movie has been in development for a while. David Goyer of The Dark Knight and Man of Steel fame was once attached with his version said to be a more fantastical version of Lord of the Rings, but unfortunately that project didn't see the light of day, which again, I'm betting is due to cost. He-Man set on Earth, and as a kid, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're going to try to. I guess Jake Lloyd was in was on a short list, but then they realized he grew up. So then they were looking for Daniel Radcliffe, and then they found he grew up.
That's a bad joke, there. That's a bad joke.
Yep, it is.
But no, that's the way these idiots sometimes work.
I know.
They're the bad joke. There's He-Man. That's a He-Man.
That's the most powerful man in the universe.
He-Man. Back to you, Mike.
Oh yeah, it's not needed. Not in my opinion.
No, it's not.
I really wish Cartoon Network didn't cancel the 2002 series after its second season, because what they had planned for the third season sounded like it would have put butts in the seat, especially longtime fans.
Wouldn't be surprised. Well, look at how good that
the Horde would have shown up, and
that one
would have shown up. She-Ra was supposed to show up.
It's awesome. That would have been awesome, yeah. Well, look at how dang good that Thundercats one was. What was that 2012, 2011? Something like that.
2011 was the Thundercats series.
Absolutely amazing.
I was disappointed that they didn't renew the show because it was very good.
Did the same thing with stuff like Tron, man. Tron Uprising was awesome. But they were like, hey, let's put it on at like Sunday at like 12 midnight so we hopefully kill this show. It's like, what's wrong with you, Disney?
Why is nobody watching? Why is nobody watching?
Right.
It could be us. No, it's got to be the show. We cancel it. No.
It's got to be those toxic fans that are not watching.
Yeah. Just like we couldn't get a third Hellboy, just like we have to get sequels to this or remakes or whatever. It's like, no, man, like let's continue on with Ron Perlman and let's continue on with this. It's just they don't. It's really unfortunate. It's really very unfortunate all the time.
Yeah, and he would love to have done it.
Oh yeah, he wanted to do it.
There's just no doubt about it. He wanted to do it, and despite what you think about this or that about him, he is a good actor. He really is.
He's done a lot of cool stuff before. Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up tonight's episode and give our promotions, we do have the latest episode of Beverly Hills 414 to go through.
No!
Who would like to read it? Who would like to read it?
I think since
how about the both of you take a part in reading the latest episode of Beverly Hills 414?
I guess I'll read my part then. You can.
No, not just your part. You take turns.
Okay. We're gonna take. Right,
I'm
let me
queuing
go
up the
to
music.
Oh hell.
Oh,
All right.
the home.
You want?
This
All right,
is what
Baron.
what's about. Well, you
You
want me to
want?
start off? Okay,
You
fine.
want me to start off? I'll start off.
I don't
I don't
care.
care. I don't care which one of you two Hunyucks start. Just
Yeah,
someone
Well,
to start.
I figure it
All
starts
right.
out with cash. So
Previously
uh,
on Beverly Hills 414. Take it from there, one of you Hunyucks.
All right. Yeah. All right. Crypto had a
wow.
silent drive back home. He had turned off his phone so he couldn't have Phil pestering him every 30 seconds or so, and parked his car in the lot, just sitting there.
Where's my sword out on a lie? Where's my myth force?
He had meant what he had said to Phil. A man could be judged by the quality of his enemies, and compared to some, Phil simply didn't measure up by any metric or other than maybe persistence. Gosh.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. He went inside and pulled out a discount kale and tofu wrap. What? Marked down and cleared to sell. It still had another couple of days, maybe hours, till it went bad to eat after all. Oh my gosh. Okay. He splurged by taking the cup of ranch dressing he pocketed from the salad bar. Take 2, use 1, and save the other for later. What? And opened it up to add some flavor to the bland wrapped. All right. I'll read one more than you can read, Baron. After his meal, he went to lay down and have a think. Okay. Opening his fourth safe, the one in the side table, he too out. Oh my gosh. He threw out a handful of his pillow money and tossed it out on the sheets to lay on.
What? What? Did we
What?
hear about money? Did we hear about money?
Yep. All
Did
right.
we hear about money to sleep on?
Ah! It's not a liquid! It's a great many pieces of solid matter that form a hard floor-like surface! Ah!
It's not a liquid. Anyways,
It's not a liquid. Catch found out the hard way.
I'm not gonna ever do that. That sounds painful. But however long he lay there, his brain kept going through many permutations and conclusions. The thoughts usually refers for figuring out odds on stocks or picking up on good deals for eBay. eBay. Okay.
eBay?
He finally knew what had been bothering him, and the one person who would give him an honest answer. Phone back on, and ignoring the voicemail notification, he called the number. I thought we agreed after Matt. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you can finish this out.
All right.
Keep going, Cash.
All right. I thought we agreed after Madagascar to go our separate ways and not talk crypto coin. The voice said when the call was finally answered, this had better be important. Gosh. Aaron, hopefully you'd get some leeway using her real name. I need to ask you something. Was I a worthy nemesis? Was I a worthy... Okay. Or did you merely tolerate my meddling all those times?
Okay, now you're gonna. This is how you do it, Cat. This is how you do it. Mike had made it to the final stretch. He was almost out of the amazing chocolate mint Milano cookies, and had gone.
You had me going through the cookies that quickly.
Yeah.
I like to take my time with those things, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Come on.
well,
Come on,
and
man.
had gone through half the Oreos, using them to fend off the tiny terrors. You know what's really good too is the mint Oreos. Okay,
Yeah, they are.
He would make a joke about tossing cookies, but he had to keep his mouth full to keep from them sneaking in a shot with a thin mint or a PB patty, which would make it game over. Well, just buy the stuff from Aldi's, those peanut butter ones. Those are. Oh, button pushed to unlock his car, freehand grabbing the handles of the bags of his purchase, as fresh as could be meat and bagged Oreo.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
And a bag of Oreos in his hand, held out like a shield. He went for it. He had just gotten the door shut when several thunk, thunk, thunk noises sounded from the side windows as the last futile shots bounced off the glass and did not hit their mark. Praising! The engine roared and he pulled out to get his prize back home. The woods were behind him now. All he needed to do was get back to his place and unpack. And of course, make that phone call. You naughty boy, did you get another ticket? She said when she answered his call. It made him chuckle a bit. Not this time. I was wondering.
There?
What?
Baron, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you a few minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Let me pick up where I left off then. You naughty boy. Did you get another ticket? She said when she answered his call. It made him chuckle a bit. Not this time. I was wondering what you were doing for dinner, though. Oh.
It's because I hit it too. I hit it too.
Baron's like, I'll show you how to do it, and then take the words off the screen. Dang it, Baron. Not this time.
No, Baron and I hit at the same time.
Wow.
It's Mike's fault. He's not learning.
No, I'm gonna. No, it's not Mike's fault. It's your fault, Baron. I'm sure.
Anime Chase had finished making whatever adjustments he had to make the Baron suit, which made Baron wonder about the magical use of
Maybe like any mechanical endeavor, the process required a blood sacrifice and incantation of swear words to be effective.
Where's this going? Is TGAP? Where's this going?
Boy.
I'm getting a little nervous here. If you said ass instead of beep, did bad shit happen? The gun baron had looked up to the task. That doesn't make sense. All glowing bits and over-engineered to be intimidating. At least he felt like he was 10 feet tall and a foot long just holding it. Well, that'd be a detraction. Yeah, I mean, actually, that'd be shrinkage for me. No, don't do that to me. Anime Jace had some oversized sword with racing stripes along it that looked like it had to weigh more than he did, but it didn't seem to cause him any issue. Oh. All right, shit, stay mother beep. Are you ready to go kick some ass and not worry about taking names or prisoners? Baron nodded, not enthusiastically, but nodded nonetheless. You know, because I do like taking names. All right, get hyped up and ready to mother Banzai. And Anime Jace threw a switch and he wondered what vehicle they'd be taking, only to see lightning and swirls. Oh God, he hated teleports. What will the answer to Crypto's question be? And what kind of heathen buys tofu and kale wrapped even while they were on sale? Did Mike manage to get away with no damage to anything but his pride? And will Officer Hot Pants be free for dinner so he can cook tonight? Actually, I think you want that answer, Mike. Will anime Jason Barron have what it takes to thwart Ikamai and their dire plot? Or are they about to bite off more they can chew? Stay tuned for these answers and more as Beverly Hills 414 continues after this message from TGASP Steve's Mercantile. Remember, if you're bald down there, don't you fear. Just give TGASP Steve, and he'll make sure that you're hooked up with only the best natural merkins out there. Back to you, Mike.
I have no idea where this Beverly Hills 414 story is going anymore.
Me either.
Yeah, you're not kidding either. None of us do.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
D-Gap, you want to give us, a clue, maybe shine a light on where this thing's going?
The silence. The silence is deafening. Deafening, I tell you. Yeah, I know. It's just he's up to something. That's all I gotta be.
He's up to something. I don't know what he's up to, but he's up to something, all right.
Mike, this is what he's up to.
Relax, will you? For crying out, what's getting to you? I'm breaking your balls a little bit, that's all. I'm only kidding with you.
You know what happens to him in the movie, don't you? After that scene, don't you?
He lives a nice, long, healthy life. Good,
no, he becomes
long life.
Fertilizer. He becomes fertilizer.
Oh, I thought this was one of Scorsese's softer films. Kinder, gentler, loving films.
No.
I don't know what universe you live in, Baron.
That's right.
The 1-3 universe is over.
The 1-3 universe is over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go, gentlemen, is there anything you would like to promote? Anything at all? Starting with Cash Money.
Ooh.
007 of the Phantom Hooligans.
Yeah.
Hooligans.
The Hooligans, yeah. All right, well, of course, we've got our Helldivers 2 stream coming up. That'll be the last one for a while. And then...
that's if I don't have to give them, a blood sample to sign in.
Blood sample to sign in, right? Yeah, writing in blood. Yeah, that'll be fun, and that'll be at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then I'm still. It's a possibility that Phil and I are maybe going to do a stream of Fallout 76, and we'll do a 2-hour stream. Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
And then, of course, I've got some game recommendation videos that I'm going to be doing. One of them is I'm going to be doing one on Bravely Default 2, which is a solid Japanese RPG. So that's coming up. And then, of course, my Star Trek videos coming up. And then I'm going to be playing with the Crab Adventure, Another Crab's Treasure. So, like I said, SpongeBob meets Dark Souls. So that'll be a video as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. On the Phantom Hooligans. Yeah.
They made a game based on you, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm waiting for your review on Custer's Revenge. So
no, I think there's only one person on YouTube who has a video up of that still. That game is absolutely ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, man.
Praising DJ Ronnie G has crabs.
Thanks for sharing that with us, DJ. Thanks.
Yep. I'm definitely not doing a review on that game, Phil. So you can forget about that nonsense.
Oh. I thought you were going to do the one on the little Austrian.
Right.
That's like 3.
No.
Isn't it amazing? They took the one game off of Steam, but they left those on,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know. Oh, there's a lot of crazy adult games on there. I don't know. They take some off, then they have other ones. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Steam can be weird about stuff. They really can.
Yeah. Depends on the fetish of the week is,
Right, I think so.
And anything else, Cash?
Nope, that's all for now.
All right.
Oh, by the way, DJ does
the perpetual 3-year-old Baron Norman tag.
Yes. I want the cookies now. Give me the cookies
now. I gotta see if we do have some cookies. I think I got some vanilla wafers. Oh, I love vanilla wafers. But when it comes around to me, besides hanging out with these two guys on their various channels for various things, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on my channel, Warrior Norman Tags Venom Legacy, just to let you know. We will be having our discussion on Babylon 5, and it's part 4 now, I believe. We're getting to the end of season 5, which also means that we're getting towards the end of the series. We're at the halfway point right now. The first episode we're going to discuss on there is a doozy. It's going to be a fun one to talk about. And so just be there or be obtuse. Or square.
Episodes
or circle.
13, 14, 15, and 16 of Babylon 5 Season 5.
Right. And as stated before, I have been shanghaied onto 540 Studios on Thursday, and I believe that's 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Oh, did I say the time for my stream? That's 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time on Saturday for the Babylon 5 stream with Venom Legacy. 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on Thursday on 540 Studio. I'll be joining the other knucklehead here. As Phil likes to say, the 2/3 of Pop Talk that just doesn't really matter. Oh, there's only 1/3 that's good, and that's Mike. So at least you got
the two of you go into 540 Studios.
All right, youngster, out you go.
Don't come back. Ever.
Well, you gotta diversify. Gotta diversify, man. Really, honestly.
Don't you realize the fine print of that contract you both signed?
Oh, I see nothing.
That's right. You read everything in the contract, Baron.
Oh, you told me I didn't have to.
This is how Mike feels right now.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Right. I mean, if I see, I didn't have lack of faith. I didn't read it. I had faith in you. But now this is what I have a take on the situation.
Very interesting, but stupid.
Oh, really? That's your take?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
And this.
Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass? What happens?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
I love how crisp that is.
Sure. Just cock.
He said, "Today is a good day to die."
Yeah, well, really, honestly, when we think about it, this is why Chase has me coming on board.
I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Yeah,
well, that's just like your opinion, man.
3 hours later.
Are we gonna have one of these clip wars again?
That's right. I said, I ain't giving you no 350, you goddamn Loch Ness monster. Get your own goddamn money. I gave him a...
It's Baron. How many times a week do you want to hear Cass say?
You know what really grinds my gears?
What do you mean a week? Anytime we open up chat or something, is the first thing out of his mouth.
Uh-huh.
Lighten up, Francis.
How many of you believe that having a hobby is a healthy and perfect way to express your individuality? Show of hands? Now. Well, you're wrong.
The last thing I want to be remembered as is an annoying blabbermouth. You know, nothing grinds my gears worse than some chowderhead who doesn't know when to keep his big trap shut.
And that's Cash in a nutshell right there.
No, that's Baron. It's out of control on Thursday. Yeah. But basically, we're just this.
How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yo.
Mm-hmm. Yo.
Baron's the one who.
If you've got an issue, here's a tissue.
So, anything else coming up on Baron Almond Tag Stand-Up Legacy?
Yeah. No, just those things, Thursday. So it looks like my nights have been really getting there. And Wednesday night, of course, with you. Thursday with Jace. Friday with Cash. Of course, my show on Saturday and Sunday. So I have 2 days open. And like I said before, when I was on Jay's show, I am a professional YouTube whore. So anybody needs me, you got my number.
He's on the streets. He's got a sign.
Yeah.
Professional
You're
you
crazy. I know you are, but what am I?
You're a nerd.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're an idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know.
Anything else?
No.
Mr. Pick me for your panel. Pick me for your panel. Oh, can I come on? Please, please, please.
Yeah. I've been hearing I might get fired. Will you please take me in, please? I might get fired.
Traitors, the both of them, betraying me. Don't they know what the show brings? Hell, even I don't even know what the show brings. But anyways, all jokes.
Help! I'm being repressed.
You're not being repressed. You both have the power to bring yourselves back in. You have a key.
Oh, I forgot. I came through the window again. I forgot I had a key. But you're going to be serious for once. So.
I could be serious. You want me to be serious? I could do a whole episode of Pop Talk where I'm dead serious.
That means without us.
But anyhow, starting at 6 p.m. on Tuesday on the Rumble and YouTube channel, I will be playing more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm currently in the Temple of the Ancients, and we'll see if I get to the final chapter of the game Tuesday night or not.
I hope so.
And then 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday will be another edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk, of course, with the two knuckleheads with me right now.
Wow.
And then Thursday, 2/3 of Pop Talk is there on 540 Studios. You have my complete and total instructions. You understand those instructions, do you not?
Huh?
Okay, they don't understand the instructions. They're fired. You're fired. Both of you. You're fired.
Huh? Listen here, Jack. You're acting like one of those pony-faced dog soldiers, man. Come on, man. Corbop was a bad dude, man. Where's my ice cream, man?
But Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, I will be playing more Stellar Blade. So that'll be part 3 of the gameplay. And then, of course, on Friday, I'll be with Cash and Baron on the Phantom Hooligans. We'll be getting killed by automatons and bugs. And we'll be trying to level up. And then on Saturday, I will go to the last place that anyone wants to go to is Babylon 5. The last hope for peace. But see, it will be great because I will be there with this picture. Lando Malari. And trust me, that is what brings the show to its highest point, is having Lando on there. It is not because of Captain Baron. No. He couldn't captain his way out of a paper bag. But I need protection. So I guess I have to hire that's Nan. Nan! I need protection. You will protect me now.
Yes, I will.
I know. We're getting weird. It's getting late. But I want to thank everybody. And Bobby, this isn't drama. This is our usual routine. Yes, somebody boots somebody out, and we all make a joke about it. Trust me, if it was real, everybody would know it. But no, this is all a joke. This is our normal shenanigans. Okay, Baron, you can come back in.
What? I'm in, aren't I?
Yeah, I brought you back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, so now Baron's doing his Cash Money impression. Great. It's bad enough we got one Cash Money. Yeah. Woo-hoo! I don't know, guys. But now that I have two.
Okay.
Well, I got that money pit I need to jump into.
Woohoo!
When the show's done.
I'll let you jump into it.
Again, this is Baron and Cash jumping into the money bin.
It's not a liquid! It's a great many pieces of solid matter that form a hard floor-like surface! Ah!
And tonight's show was the premiere of that video, by the way, folks. So,
but in all seriousness, thank you everybody for stopping by and putting up with our shenanigans here at the end. Of course, listen to us talk about the different articles and your general support of all of our channels, whether it be Pacific414 on YouTube, Phantom Hooligans, Baron Orban Tags, Twitter page, Facebook page, the Rumble page. Thank you, everybody, for your support. We can't do this without you. And I want to take the time to thank Human Blaze the Cat, TGASP Steve, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, Old Man, Blue, or Blue Legend Gaming, Phil McCracken, Whoopa, Whoopa. Baron does that a lot better than I do.
Whoopa, whoopa.
Whoopa, whoopa. Yeah.
DJ Ronnie G, Leia Rose,
the president and sole member of the Phil McCracken fan club,
Anonymous, who apparently can't read a schedule, Wolverine, Jet Sparks. Just gonna make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Scrolling.
Rawhide.
Scrolling up, scrolling down. Rawhide.
Oh my.
Looks like I got everybody over on the YouTube side. Double checking. And for those of you who are over on the Rumble side, we had Raven Gaming. And we also had, damn it, Bobby. That boy ain't right. Some might say this show ain't right.
No, we aren't. By the way, YouTube, Rumble. Okay, back to you, Mike.
Well, I'm going to acknowledge people where I'm streaming. And if
Oh,
YouTube
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
like me using the word Rumble, well, that's YouTube's
Rumble,
problem.
rumble. Fuck off, YouTube. Rumble.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that they get an extra dose of butthurt. That's all.
It's a word, YouTube.
YouTube helped make Rumble, but whatever. Anyways,
You know what else is the word? The bird. Now. The bird is a word. Now. The bird is a word.
But thank you all very much. Hope you all have yourselves a good evening. And until next time, remember, don't ever give up. Come on, Mike. You say this all the time. Don't ever give up on a game.
Well, while you're sorting yourself out, while you're sorting this out, I have to see this.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Okay, I hope you give you enough time to get yourself sorted.
Yeah, I give myself enough time to reboot.
Yeah.
Don't ever give up on me in a game, because just when you do, you might miss something. Like a crazy edition of Pop Talk. Come on.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, quickly hit that reset button and everything's good. And of course, Cash does like his supporters, particularly athletic ones. So please, give them your support.
Have a good night, everybody.
Night, everybody. And I'm sorry.
We apologize for the man who thinks he's a 3-year-old.
I think I need to apologize for all of us. Sorry.